Groaners, welcome along to another episode of the Groan Zone. You join us for more groany goodness as well as being jam-packed of the content we are known for. Your games this week are Yes or BS, and Give Me the Question, and What the Hell Am I For? We're going to kick the show off, as mostly now we always do, with My Groans. First off we have microtransactions. So you've just bought the latest game you want, but there's a closed off area. The base game is, say, £60 in England or the UK, and they want another 10 to enter this other area. What is the point? Just do away with microtransactions for weapons, extra bits and features. It makes the game annoying, and plus kids don't understand and will grab cards of parents and use theft to pay for things. Get rid of this. It's a blight on gaming, and I know a load of people out there agree. 4G and 5G in relation to mobiles. We are in the technological heavy era now and rely on data and Wi-Fi more than ever. So why the hell can the signal not be boosted to penetrate walls and even resist the wind? I was in an open area car park the other day, lots of wind, and I lost signal. In an open space! Come on, phone networks, it's 2024, not 1824. And I'm sure I've grown about that before. And lastly, Mango Pepsi. I recently tried this, and by jingo, was I disappointed. It tasted like sweetened mud, and just doesn't work as a flavour, in my opinion. Was so disappointed. Try again, Pepsi, but until then, what is the point? Whew. On that note, I'm all groaned out this week, but a random groaner of my choosing will get their groan read out by yours truly later on in the show. How you feeling, groaner? You want a game? Aware then, let's have at it with Yes or BS. All those groaners listening live, are you ready? Yes, they are. If you at home are ready, I'm sure you are. We're going to crack on with it now. You all know the score by now. Yes or BS. You avoid BS answers. If you pick the BS answers, you get no points. Plus you sacrifice all your points the more the game goes on. So avoid those BS answers. Get the true ones, that's how you score points. Round 1. The paragliding chess horses round. Option A. Paragliding was invented by mistake in 1964. Option B. Horses can breathe through their noses and mouths. Option C. The longest game of chess had 269 moves. Go Groaners long live. Give me your answers now. You're playing along at home. You press pause. You answer. You unpause. What we got? Oh, answers have flown straight in there. We have got a split. The rumour's gone between C and B on this week for round 1. Any more? No more. Round 2. The dangerous judo fatality round. Option A. The average skydiving fatality is 1 in every 200,000 jumps. Option B. It is dangerous to fly 24 hours after a scuba dive. And option C. The sport of judo roughly translates to the entanglement method in Japanese. Go Groaners live, give me your answers. At home, you pause, you answer unpause. Oh, bees are flying in. More bees are flying in. Okay. All the bees are flying in. Everything else is ignored in the room this week. Okay. Any more? No more. Round 3, final round of Yes or BS today. The Rock Cake Smartphone round. Option A. Your smartphone is dirtier than your toilet. Option B. The earliest form of rock music came around in 1942. So I should say about in 1942. And option C, the oldest cake is 4,176 years old. Go Groaners. Answer. I should say answer now. They've done it already, they beat me. You're playing along at home, pause, answer, unpause. What's the room said? The room has said... Oh, another split for the week. A's and C's down the line. Okay, I hear you loud and clear, Groaners. Any more? No more. You got points? I don't know. We'll find out later in the show. But now, let's bask in the glow of Admin Nicole's Creepy Corner. And this week's story is titled The End of Dreams. The king ordered the guards to take the first prince away and get him help, but not before the old man made sure he wasn't hurt and took back his dagger. He apologised to the king for causing commotion, but not for injuring his son. The king wasn't mad. A lot of people hated the first prince. The old man wasn't the first person or creature he had severely offended or wronged in some way after all. Yet the king still blames himself for everything. A long time ago, before the Nightmare Realm was created, he was a human living with his tribe in a desert. Life was so peaceful and free back then, even with a great war going on. They refused to have any part of it, instead trying to help nature as best as they could. On some nights, he would see his spirit animal, an owl, watching over them, and he knew things would be good. However, one night, when he slept, something changed. A woman was watching over him in his dreams. They would talk all through the night until he woke. This went on for months, and he knew she couldn't just be a dream. He hated the thought of ruining his people, but he had to do what he could. He needed to find the woman of his dreams. One night, while asleep, he told her of this, and she looked sad. She wanted to be with him too, but her people would never allow her to leave, so they made a plan together. She snuck out of her realm one night, carrying nothing with her to make her escape easier, and she made her way to Earth to be with him. They lived a good life together for a few months. The king and his people did all they could to protect them from harm, and she did all she could to learn their ways and help protect nature. The first child born of two different realms would give rise to a brand new realm. This is where the problem started. The realm ended up being right next to the realm of dreams, a realm that would become the realm of nightmares. Their first son was born blue, with horns and a tail. The king couldn't help but laugh, and yet they were so happy. Their realm grew with no time at all, quickly becoming a place of peace and knowledge. So many creatures of all shapes and sizes made the Nightmare Realm their home. The king and queen had three very different sons, not just in looks, but in personalities too. The princess even had an ability to transform into owls at will, just like the king's spirit animal. His people would never truly leave him, and now part of them was in his sons too. He couldn't ask for more. The realm thrived for so many years until the eldest prince turned 6. That was to be the hardest year of his life, especially as the only child to remember the horrors of that year. He was a handful before then, always looking to cause trouble for some reason, but he got so much worse after that year. The king awoke to find his wife missing. She often took walks through the garden when she couldn't sleep, so he wasn't immediately worried. He checked on the princess first. The eldest was missing, so he called the guards and everyone was on high alert. The first prince was found crying in the garden, a letter in his hand. The realm of dreams had kidnapped the queen, stating they were just taking back what was stolen from them. It wasn't easy for her to leave that place, and now she was dragged right back there. The king put the realm on high alert and went over to the realm of dreams. The sun was just breaking through, something they weren't familiar with in their endless realm of night. It had been so long since the king had seen the sun, and all he wanted was his wife back. Except he was too late. He saw the crowd and the yelling. When he got close enough, he saw his wife looking at him. Barely able to say her final words before it was over, and asked him not to watch, and that she was sorry as the tears wouldn't stop falling. The blade followed by the fire and the ashes. He couldn't reach her in time, but he had to watch and know he wasn't fast enough, knowing he would have to live with that forever. The king was furious. His rage knew no end, and yet he couldn't act on it. He would never see his wife again, or even get to bury her. There was nothing left. He wanted so badly to start a war and show dreams that nightmares should be feared, but he didn't. His realm was one of peace, and even if people would understand, pain only leads to more pain, and it just wasn't worth it. He refused to put lives at risk just so he could get revenge. That wasn't how people lived. So he had his best scholars create a barrier that would protect the realm of nightmares from anyone who would wish to cause its people harm. He explained everything to his people, choosing not to leave them in the dark. Yet all that pain meant he forgot to teach his sons about both sides of themselves, and so they grew up never transforming again, and thinking their badges were why as they held the last memories of their mother. The king was so filled with rage and grief, but he still put his people first. Even after all these years, he never got to mourn the loss of the only woman he would ever love. His people remained true, and no one ever left the realm of nightmares from that day. Every last one of them shunned dreams forever, vowing to destroy any dream that would dare to break through the barrier. Wow, Groaners. The visuals, the web admin Nicole weaves, it's all impressive. I don't know how she keeps track of the worlds, the characters, everything, and how it all flows together. More of Creepy Corner to come next week. Now, are you feeling unlucky? No? I'm telling you, these next people sure did. It's time for Oh Unlucky! This week's Oh Unlucky falls to Mexican news media outlet RCG Media. Why? Well, it's a doozy. Instead of airing footage of the recent eclipse, they instead found themselves airing footage of someone's testicles, which had been submitted under recent eclipse footage. They had fallen victim to a prank named Testicular Eclipse. The prankster, who I will not name because he is a donut, posted about this on social media. Unlucky to the outlet for not checking submissions before airing. Hopefully they learned a valuable lesson. You still feeling lucky, Groaners? I've got another game for you. It's time for Gimme the Question. You all know this one as well, Groaners. You've got to give me the right question after I give you the answer first. There's no blank in this one, so if you're wrong, you're wrong. It's that simple. And of course, if you're right, well, you get points. Here we go. Round 1. Your answer is rainbows. Your questions are option A. What is an actual name of an attack squad in America? Option B. What is a type of distance award in swimming? Or option C. What is a rare type of shark found in the waters off the coast of Papua New Guinea? Go Groaners live. Give me your answers. You're not playing live, you pause your answer on pause. Oh, what's the room giving me? They've all gone for C. Okie dokie. Moving on. Any more answers? No more? Okay. Round 2. Your answer is playing cards. Your questions are as follows. Option A. What, when using maths with all the numbers in a pack, adds up to 365? B. What was designed as a way for medieval convicts to decide who got what when incarcerated en masse? And lastly, option C. What was discovered to have first been invented in the year 800 AD? Go Groaners, give me your answers. Oops, they've gone for B's. Okay, so we've gone for B's. Any more? And C's. Okay, we're getting splits all day and either full answers all day this week. And moving on, final round, round 3. Your answer is methamphetamines. Your questions, I should say, not your answers again. Your questions are option A. What drug was created to treat narcolepsy in patients? B. What was once found inside a Kinder Surprise egg? And option C. What was O.J. Simpson high on when he started a police chase in 1994? Give me those answers, Groaners. Those long live, and after live, give me them. Oh, I think we've all gone for C's again. Okay. Wow, Groaners, a very vast amount of answers this week. The points will be unveiled soon, but we must ask now, why oh why? So, you are the Prime Minister of the UK, so what the hell were you doing wearing trainers with a suit? What an image of the UK you present. I believe it was an interview. I've just got to ask, trainers with a suit? Why oh why? And moving on from why oh why, we now give one of you out there a chance to have your groan read out. Yep, it's audience groan time, groaners. And this week's audience groan came in via Discord message from Craig W. of Cramerton. And he groans, "People who try to finish your sentences for you. Are you telepathic? No? Then sod off and stop trying to finish what I'm saying. The amount of times I've had this done to me is beyond frustrating, Craig. Good groan." If you'd like to send in your groans, your feedback, your zero or hero of the week nominations, your oh unlucky stories, or your why or whys, or anything else for that matter, you can do so using any one of the following. You can hop us an email on the groanzonepod@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook groups at the Groan Zone Podcast Group. You can join in the fun on Discord at the Groan Zone. You can direct message myself, that's Mystery Groaner, or Admin Nicole on Nicole Amos on Facebook Messenger. And lastly, if you actually know myself, Admin Nicole, you can groan in verbally. Before I forget though, you can also comment on any one of the now 77 episodes with a comment detailing any one of the things I've asked for, and it could come in the show. You just don't know. And now for our final game of the week. It's time for What the Hell Am I For? This one this week, the clue first is, with me, you'll always find your way. The answer to What the Hell Am I For will be coming next week. But don't forget, groaners, you can only open the show notes on Podbean. It won't work anywhere else. Open it on Podbean, or join Facebook, come to the Facebook group, image will be on there, or come on Discord, it'll be on Discord as well. And that last game brings us neatly on, and I forgot the answer to be given next week, I've probably already said that, but I'm going to say it again. Last game brings us neatly on to our zero of the week. This week's zero is the worst kind of scum. A mother who turned on her kids out of greed and currently, allegedly, stole £50,000 out of an account their late grandmother left for them. The mother and grandfather went on a spending spree, burning through most of the money. How low do you need to be? So what, they live with your ex? But come on, to hurt them this way? Lady, that's cold. You are definitely this week's zero for the ultimate betrayal. And on that bombshell, I won't betray you, groaners, so I'll be forthcoming with the answers for anagram anxiety and this week's games. It's time for game answers. Anagram anxiety first. I think last week's anagram was one of our longest, and it's all one word. The answer is hippopotamus. I haven't rehearsed this, groaners, bear with us. Hippopotamonstrosus equipped Eleophobia. Wow. Can I buy another few vowels? I'm guessing before Nicole gave me the answer, I was guessing it's a fear of long words. And I was right. If you suffer from it, how the hell do you write it? Let alone say the sod. Clearly, the person who coined the term is a complete ass. I didn't practice at all, so if I've butchered it, I really don't care. I did my best. Give me the question. Round 1. Your answer was rainbows. Your correct question was option B. What is a type of distance award in swimming? This is only in Britain though, and it must be recent because in my day it was a different kind of certificate. Round 2. Your answer was playing cards. Your correct question was option A. When using maths, with all of the numbers in a pack it adds up to 365. If you work that out in the amount of time I gave you live, then well done. If you paused, well, it depends how long you paused me for to work it out. And if you still got it, well done. Round 3. Your answer was methamphetamines. Your correct question was option B. What was once found inside a Kinder Surprise egg? Not the kind of surprise I'd want, that's for sure. Moving on. Yes or BS answers. Round 1. The paragliding chess horses round. If you went for option A, paragliding was invented by mistake in 1964, you were wrong. The parachute parafoil was mapped out and patented that year, so it was patented in 1964, but paragliding really took off in 1978. It wasn't a mistake at all. Option B. Horses can't breathe through their mouths. they can only breathe through their noses. So that's false. Option C. It is indeed true. The longest game of chess had 269 moves. It took place in Belgrade in 1989, and apparently it ended in a draw. Round 2. The dangerous judo fatality round. If you went for option A, the average skydiving fatality is 1 in every 200,000 jumps. True. Imagine being that one, though. I wouldn't want to be. Option B. It is dangerous to fly 24 hours after a scuba dive. This is true. Exposure to reduced barometric pressure shortly after diving can increase a diver's risk of decompression sickness. Before flying, a diver should allow themselves to remain at sea level to allow the elimination of excess gases, mainly nitrogen, from tissues, or you'll be in serious trouble. Option C. The sport of judo roughly translates to the entanglement method in Japanese. This is totally false from my mind. Its meaning is actually the gentle way. And round 3. The rock cake smartphone round. If you went for option A, your smartphone is dirtier than your toilet, this is partly true based on research, but for the sake of this show, we're gonna say it's true. Option B. The earliest form of rock music came about in 1942. This is actually false. It was near the end of the 40s, moving into the 50s. Rock and roll evolved into rock music, yet both genres still exist. And option C. The oldest cake is 4,176 years old. True. And that honour goes to that same age cake that was found in an Egyptian tomb. According to the Guinness organisation, it is on display in a food museum in Switzerland since the 16th of December 2019. Can you imagine wanting to have a piece of that cake? I really wouldn't. I wouldn't want to. And with that, may the gods of groans smile on you with points. If not groaners, there's always next week. And on that note, take care guys. We'll see you then. Bye bye.